Hi everybody, I'm Randy Nyans with Lockrz, and we're here today to walk through the assembly of our new wall-mounted unit. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'd like to show you is the tools that I'm going to use today to assemble the locker. The first thing we have is our rubber-mounted hammer. The next thing is just a regular hammer with a bit of tape around it to protect it. The third thing is the actual install tool. This is the tool we use for the fasteners, to install the fasteners, so this is extremely important. And then of course, either a screwdriver like this or a regular screwdriver is what you're going to need to add some of the accessories. All right, so our first step in the assembly process is to go ahead and install the fasteners. So typically what I like to do is I like to do everything in a fairly particular order, and by doing it that way you assure yourself that when you get near the end it's not going to be difficult for you to add other items like accessories, hooks, that type of thing. So what I like to do is I like to start with the fasteners and then move through and attach all of the accessories that I've purchased to go on the unit as well. I do all of that while the pieces and the parts are laying here on the table. So let me go ahead and start with a fastener. Let me show you how we do that. So this is the fastener that's used to assemble the upper wall unit. This fastener this is in the closed position. This is the open position. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close the fastener and insert it into our install tool. So what you want to do is take the fastener and set it, there's a little pocket here on the install tool. You just simply set the fastener inside that pocket, just like this. Then you're going to take and you're going to press down with your thumb and you're going to hear it click or lock into place. So we're going to go ahead and press down and you hear it click or lock into place. Next thing we're going to do is take the fastener, we're going to place it over the pocket. So you're not going to be able to get it inside the pocket. We just want to simply place it right over the top of the pocket and kind of hold it fairly firmly in place right here. We're going to grab our rubber mallet, a couple of taps, and you can see that there's a fair amount, and I did this purposely, I pulled this off early, but you can see that there's a fair amount of the fastener that's not yet been seated into the pocket. So in cases like that, just go ahead and take your rubber mallet. You want to make sure you got a good firm surface. We're going to go ahead and tap that in. Now you can see that the fastener's been installed properly. It's flush with the rest of the wood. So now we're set with that particular fastener. So let's go ahead and install another one. We'll show you how we do that. Again, take your install tool. We're going to take the fastener, close position, drop it into the socket or into the pocket, and then go ahead and press down with your thumb till it clicks. Now that you've got it set in there, we're going to put it right over the pocket again. I'm going to pull this over and get a little firmer surface. Got it set in, take your rubber mallet, a couple of taps, and you can see this one, this one actually set in a little bit better than the other one. But we still have an area right here where it's above, it's a little ways away from the wood. So again, take your rubber mallet and give it some nice firm taps to get it pressed down into the wood. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go around and install all the fasteners. Actually, we've done many of these in advance, so I just have a couple more to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and install those two fasteners, and then we're going to come back and start the assembly process. So we're going to move on to the next step. And as I said earlier, what I like to do is I like to make sure that I install the accessories before the unit is actually put together. So I wanted to show you just a few of the accessories that are options when you're buying your wall hanging unit. One of the things we offer is a nameplate. This nameplate comes with a couple of screws, and what you need to see on that is that each one of the pieces, when you receive your wall mounted unit, you're going to notice that each of the pieces where we would put a nameplate, for example, has already been pre-drilled. So you don't have to go in and drill it yourself. It's been pre-drilled to accept the nameplate here. The same is true with things like our back hooks, which are these. We've got 9 back hooks here, but this is just an example of one of the back hooks that we have to offer. And as you can see, the back hooks also come pre-drilled. So we've got all the holes pre-drilled for the back hooks. You don't have to use back hooks if you don't want. But if that's an accessory that you want to add to your unit, you certainly can do it. So again, pre-drilled, we can just simply place the back hook on here just like this. And then the screws are provided that you can screw the hook into this back piece. The same thing is with the skate hooks. This is a skate hook for the shelf unit. This is our shelf. And again, all the holes are pre-drilled. So no need to get out your drill. Everything is done to accept the skate hook as well, which is going to go here. So in this particular build, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and install all of these accessories so that you get a chance to see at the end of the build what it looks like with all of the accessories attached. You don't have to buy all the accessories, but I wanted to give you a good idea of what it would look like. So next step is I'm going to go ahead and install all the accessories, and then we'll move into the actual build of the unit. Okay, now what I'd like to do is just go ahead and start the assembly process. So first thing is we're going to take one of the side panels, we're going to lay it flat on the surface. Again, make sure your surface is protected. We're going to walk over and we're going to grab the back panel. And these are all going to be labeled when you get them, so you'll know exactly which panels are which. But this is the back panel. This is going to go against the wall. So we're going to take this particular panel and we're going to drop it into this series of holes right here, right there. So we're going to take this panel, we're going to go ahead and set it in, and we're going to drop it right into those holes, just like that. One thing I wanted to show you as we install the back panel, a good way to know whether or not you have the panel installed in the right direction, either this way or flipped around the other way, is that you see that this piece right here and the side piece are nice and even right there. If that was not even, and let me give you an example. Let me open this up real quick, and I'm going to flip this around. If that was not even, as you can see right here, that's not the proper install. We need to make sure that this piece and this piece right here are flush. So let's go ahead and flip that back around again. We're going to drop it back into the holes. And again, you can see it's nice and flush right here. So go ahead and finger tighten that down, and we'll move on to the next piece. So the next step in the process is to install the shelf. So we're going to take this shelf piece right here. As you can see, I've already installed the skate hooks. We did that to make things easier. So we're going to bring that over, and the skate hooks are going to be facing out. Obviously, they cannot face towards the back of the unit. We've got the 3 fasteners here. We'll go ahead and drop these into the pre-cut holes. So just drop it in like that. See how it fits right in there? And we're sort of going to move this, put some pressure on, get it down, and you can see how I'm now sliding these pieces together right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to tighten any of these right now. I'm going to leave these just as they are. I know I finger tightened some of the parts on the back, but we're going to leave these just the way they are right now. And we're going to come back around and we're going to grab the top piece. Again, the top piece has 3 fasteners on the front side. So you know that they're not going to go to the back side. This needs to be turned around so that these 3 fasteners are facing the front side so you can put your face plate on. Okay? The other thing you want to make sure is that all of these fasteners are facing outside the unit. So you flip it around like this so they face the top. They're going to face the ceiling when you assemble it. So got 3 fasteners right here. We're going to go ahead and insert those 3 fasteners into these 3 holes. Just drop them into the holes. Just like, here, let me switch around, just like that. We're going to drop it into the hole, and then we're going to work with the back a little bit just to make sure we've got this aligned, and we do. And let's come back over here to the shelf side, and you can see that the shelf fasteners kind of pulled out a little bit. That's not a big deal at all. Just move your shelf back into place and pull everything together. And you can see how everything just sort of came together. You don't want to force any of this stuff because it's all designed to fit together very, very nicely. So you just want to kind of maneuver it around a little bit. Once you get it in place, go ahead and finger tighten this down and then come around to the top side. And we're going to apply some downward pressure and pull in this back plate. Tighten that down as well. Just kind of moving around, tighten those guys down. There you go. All right, so let me spin this around for you. So now what we have at this stage is we have the side panel, we have the top panel, we've got the shelf, and we've got one of our back panels. Now there's an additional back panel that we need to install, and that's this one right here. So let's go ahead and drop that guy in as well. As you can see, the hooks have been pre-installed. It's your choice whether or not you want to have them or not. The holes are there to go ahead and install them. So we're going to drop the fasteners in, give it a little bit of a, just kind of work it around just a little bit. You'll see that this is going to drop right into that hole. There you go. Drops right down in there. Now that it's into the hole, we're going to go ahead, downward pressure, and a little bit of finger tightening. There we go. All right, the next step in the build of the wall unit is we're going to install the other side panel that goes on this unit. Again, I did pre-install one of the hooks. This is an inside hook, and it's very easy to have that installed. It's not going to get in your way during the installation process. So I would highly recommend that you have this hook installed before you put this together. So let's go ahead and move forward. We're going to take this piece, turn it upside down. Now, we've got all the holes that you can see around. And what we're going to do is lay this piece on top of the other parts, just like that. And we're going to begin in one corner. What I like to do is, typically I begin in this upper corner up here, and I'm going to slide this around until I align the fasteners with the holes, just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Pull this guy in a little. There you go. See how it's just, you're starting to see how it's just dropping in. You can find the right hole. You might have to, just tap on it a little bit. It's okay to do that. You just want to make sure you got your holes lined up. Okay, as you can see, I've picked up the rubber mallet because this sometimes can really be helpful as you're going through and trying to get the fasteners into each one of the holes. So what I like to do is I simply like to, once I get one of the holes started, then I just sort of lightly tap it, and I'm going to work it around. Let me turn this around for you. I'm just going to work it around. You can see that this is just starting to it's finding the hole, so we're going to go ahead and, tap that a little bit more. Take a look, make sure our shelf is right. Shelf is good. Give that a few more taps. And then this last piece, get that guy aligned as well. And there you go. See how that just fell in very nicely. We'll slide it back around. This is popped up a little bit, which is not a problem. So we'll go ahead and tap it down. Okay, so now that we have the side panel installed as well, I've gone ahead and started to finger tighten down all of these fasteners. You can see I pushed some of them down half or a little bit more. So we've got our hammer. We'll just go ahead, start on the back side of this. Don't hit here. Absolutely do not hit here. You'll crack that tab right off. So you want to start on the back side and then just slowly work your way around until it's flush. Again, back side and work your way around. Do a couple more right here. And one more. All right, so I'll go around, I'll finish the rest of these, and then I'll come back and show you the final few steps. Okay, the next step that we're going to go through is actually installing the faceplate. So we have a faceplate for the shelf, and then we also have the faceplate that has the nameplate on it. We have that for the top piece up here. So again, and just in case you get these painted the same color for some reason or whatever, if you look at the back side of the plates, there's either an S or a T that's cut into these. So you know whether or not it's the shelf or the T, obviously, for the top plate. So let's go ahead and install the shelf. Just going to take this piece and we're going to align it with the holes that are right here. So go ahead and align it with those holes and drop it in just like that. And what I like to do, spin this around a little bit, I like to just sort of apply some pressure, make sure I get it nice and snug, and then go ahead and finger tighten these down, just like that. Apply that pressure and just finger tighten it down. Good. Then we're going to take the top piece. Again, very same process. Go ahead and you've got the holes here and we've got the fasteners. We're just going to go ahead and insert it into the holes, just like that. And here you might need to just tap a little bit. There you go. Drops right in there. Again, apply some pressure, pull it in a little bit. We're going to finger tighten these down. There you go. Then we'll come back with a hammer. Now that we've got these all set, we'll just come back. We'll tap these down. just like that. Let's go ahead and do the shelf parts. I'm going to tap this in, tap this one, and up top. So when this is on your wall, this is what the unit's going to look like. So it's really the upper version of our original Sport Lockers. So it's just the upper unit. Again, you see the skate hooks here. We've got some hooks in the back for your jersey, some hooks on the inside for other, other items, pads, things like that. And then what I wanted to show you lastly are the hooks that are going to be installed on the outside. So again, I'll go through and install the final hooks on this so I can show you what it looks like, but these are all accessories that you can either choose to add or not add. That's totally up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and install these next just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Okay, so I wanted to give you a finished view of the upper wall-mounted unit. Again, as you can see, we've got all of the hook accessories installed. We've got the skate hooks, we've got some back hooks back here, and then if you look on both sides, we've installed the two hooks that are able to go on the left side and on the right side. So plenty of room for to hang up your gear. If you look here, we've got plenty of room up here on the shelf for other equipment. But this is really this is brand new to our product offering. I think it's going to be an excellent product for us going forward. So if you have any questions, feel free to call us at 1-855-742-4332 or email us at info@sportlockers.com. Again, that's info@sportlockers.com.